been very lucky to have a unique partner in Chris Steele. He and I are kindred spirits, and I don't think we've ever had a disagreement over anything because we have the same vision, exactly the same vision. And I do this work because I love it. That's the bottom line. And I get so much satisfaction out of it that I'll continue to do it as long as I can find properties that are worth doing.
Well, I'd known Peter for quite a long time before he decided to join me at the ranch. I think Peter decided to save me from myself. I was thinking of selling my rice ranch and kind of retiring from the business of making wetlands. And Peter convinced me that the best was yet to come and we should not stop, but maybe accelerate our wetland programs. And he had many wonderful ideas, and it proved to be quite a fun trip. I think we both see eye to eye that on the major concept that we much prefer to make marshes these days than do most anything else. And Peter's a bit of the scientist, and I'm a bit of the tractor driver, and it makes a great combination.
Well, not all properties are created equal. And so it's not like every day there are properties available that have the potential to be very significant waterfowl complexes. So when you do find a unique property, and by unique I mean it has to be situated in an area where there is the potential for a significant amount of wildlife, but it also has to have a size that's appropriate. You have to have critical mass, and I believe that you have to have at least 500 acres to work with, and the bigger the better. But then, because it is a wetland, water is very, very important, so you have to have a very ample supply of water at a reasonable cost, because we know as water gets short, it's going to get tougher and tougher. So once you've identified a piece of property, its location, and it has critical mass because of its size, then you begin to plan what you're going to do with the property. And a lot of that has to do with the topography of the land. You have to work with the land. You can't just force it into a particular situation.
I think the wetlands to be will be as good or better than the wetlands that were here when the covered wagons came in. We will never get the quantity back. We will get the quality back. And in some ways, one of our greatest challenges is to make the limited number of acres that can be available for wetlands use available in the highest productive state possible.
Birds are probably the most ubiquitous species that I know. There's first of all a very large diversity of species, but more importantly they're everywhere. And you can create something, and overnight you can change the visitation by the birds, both the total numbers as well as the variety. And so in wetlands we're just not after waterfowl, but with the shorebirds and lots of mammals and the amphibians. And certainly the vegetation itself has got unique value, and then under the water the invertebrates are a critical component of the whole complex. So,
how can you possibly be out in the middle of every wild thing and see them so close and so personal and realize that they're there because you made it there, and not be pumped up? It's just in your core. I think it's in everyone's core. They just don't get the opportunity. And that's one of the reasons I'm so enthused about Audubon's youth education is I think there's just lots and lots of young people out there that would have that same feeling if they got a chance to experience it and participate in it. So I'm a little bit like the dad out there. I take a lot of pride of authorship of The Good Place, and I want all my things to be right out there. And I think anybody that worked in the field and saw the difference that they made would have that same feeling. And so a good part of it is, an important part of it is to give people the opportunity to do that and take that ownership of the wetlands.
Well, generically, wild places inspire me, but I'm an avid disciple of Aldo Leopold, and I've read everything that he's ever written. I know his family very well, and he summed it up perfectly in one of his most famous quotations, and he said, "A thing is right when it preserves the stability, integrity, and the beauty of the biotic system. It's wrong when it tends otherwise." How simple is that? And I get great satisfaction out of putting back more than I take and being part of a system where it's not man-centric, and we let the wildlife be as important as everything else around it. And I also have great fun doing it. It's very, very satisfying and rewarding to do it.
Looking at the huge benefits to wildlife from the ones we've already done. And when you see every creature that is native to the valley in and around your wetlands in great numbers and thriving, it inspires you to go do more. There's so much good comes from each one. It just inspires you to go do more. And I can't say there's one exact moment, but I know that most walks through any of the ranches is inspiring.
Why am I in this line of work? It attracts the babes.